If you're under the age of, say, 40 or so, chances are you've never driven a performance Buick. But the all-new Regal GS looks to restore some of that lost luster to the Buick brand.
Prior to the return of the current Regal, memories of turbocharged Buicks harkened back a quarter of a century. From the final production of the lauded Grand National until just recently, Buick has in large part represented the antithesis of excitable motoring, a brand most associated with the senior set. But new for 2012, the Regal GS returns with its own modern interpretation of performance. Front-wheel drive with a turbocharged 4-cylinder and a trick suspension, making it both fast and fuel-efficient. Though premium gas is recommended, it's not required. And the high-output Ecotec 2-liter engine, making an eye-opening 270 horsepower and 295 pound-feet of torque, is rated at 19 mpg city, 27 highway. My tester came equipped with the no-cost, optional 6-speed automatic transmission. Unfortunately, there are no paddle shifters, but it does offer manual shifting at the column. It replaces the standard 6-speed manual and brings with it the added benefit of remote start and smooth gear changes. I've driven both the manual and automatic models, and not being one who has to have a stick shift or else, the auto in the GS is a reasonable alternative for those who aren't into clutch pedals. It does take a moment of hesitation after mashing the gas pedal before the turbo and automatic get their act together, but once they do, it's off to the races. This Regal 0 to 60 time of 6.7 seconds is really secondary to the deep well of torque that's available for passing maneuvers and other displays of might. The turbo whistles as you play with the throttle, and the GS possesses racier intake and exhaust sounds from the outside, but in here, it's still Buick quiet. Not Verano-level quiet, but more hush than you might expect. And when you see its front-wheel drive with all this power, you might fear torque steer, that unenviable trait where the steering wheel fights the driver under hard acceleration, but it's not here. Buick calls it the Hyperstrut system, a front suspension designed to reduce torque steer, improve traction, and maintain negative camber during cornering. Combine that with the interactive drive control system and these optional Pirelli P0 summer-rated tires, and the Regal GS is a handling wizard. Standard, Sport, and GS modes tailor the suspension damping, steering effort, and transmission mapping. GS mode even changes the color of the instrument panel to white in step with the enthusiast-level driving that's in store. Each button push makes the car a bit firmer in ride quality, delivers more driver feedback, and reduces body roll. In GS mode, the Regal hangs on with prodigious grip. Brembo brakes stop the 3,700-pound Regal GS assuredly and with ease. Its more aggressive appearance and lower ride height accentuate the exclusiveness of this model. There's also a GS-specific ebony interior, replete with leather sport seats, a flat-bottom sport steering wheel that feels great in the hands, and sport pedals. IntelliLink is standard as well, a great system for connecting gadgets and listening to music. OnStar-delivered turn-by-turn navigation directions are displayed here too. Rear seat and trunk space are both on the smaller side for a mid-size classification. Priced about $4,500 more than a Regal Turbo, and as tested for $36,745, the Regal GS is poised to provide performance within reach for an entirely new Buick customer. For Drive Time on Yahoo Autos, I'm Steve Hammis.